a night that redefined global influence. The Korean Global Music Awards, KGMA, 2025 marked a monumental moment not only for the Korean entertainment industry, but also for the millions of fans who have steadily followed the artistic evolution of Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. As the ceremony unfolded beneath towering LED installations and a futuristic cobalt blue aesthetic, the energy inside the venue grew more electrifying with every category announced. But nothing compared to the eruption of applause that filled the room when Taehyung was officially announced as the recipient of the award for Trend of the Year. This award was never simply about popularity. It was about cultural direction, the shaping of global aesthetics, and the ability to influence emotional atmospheres across borders. And in 2025, even while fulfilling mandatory military service and remaining away from public schedules, Taehyung proved that true influence is not tied to constant visibility. It is tied to presence, impact, and legacy. The announcement of his name reverberated through the hall. Some audience members stood up in excitement. Others cheered loudly, unable to contain the pride and affection they felt. The massive display screen behind the host illuminated with Taehyung's iconic image. Soft yet strong, artistic yet bold, timeless yet endlessly modern. Although Taehyung could not attend due to military regulations, his absence only magnified his mystique. The moment symbolized something deeper, that a true global icon remains influential even in silence, even in distance, even in pause. Understanding the weight of Trend of the Year. At the KGMA, the Trend of the Year Award stands among the highest honors, reserved for individuals whose influence transcends music charts and enters the collective consciousness. To win it means becoming a cultural compass, someone whose style, behavior, artistic decisions, and emotional storytelling serve as inspiration for millions. But this year's award was exceptional. The jury unanimously concluded that Taehyung had defined an entire global aesthetic language. They described him as a multidimensional artist whose presence shifts global mood, inspires creative industries, and shapes the language of visual culture. Several key reasons fueled his selection. 1. Layover's timeless longevity. Though released long before the ceremony, Taehyung's solo album Layover continued to break and maintain records. The album re-entered streaming charts multiple times throughout 2024 and 2025, supported not by promotions, but by organic love and rediscovery. Music critics credited the album's cinematic direction and emotional warmth for its enduring appeal. 2. Viral cultural ripples. Clips of Taehyung's live performances resurfaced endlessly across platforms: Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok edits, even Apple Music lyric features. His fan cams, particularly those from his slow dancing stages, experienced multiple resurgences throughout the year. 3. Fashion influence beyond borders. Taehyung had one of the strongest global fashion impacts of any Korean artist. His style, understated yet expressive, vintage yet modern, inspired editorial shoots, fashion campaigns, and fan-made looks worldwide. 4. Emotional aesthetics and sincerity. Taehyung's brand of gentle authenticity was emulated globally. People admired not only his appearance, but his emotional expression, the calmness of his voice, the softness of his presence, and the sincerity that radiated through every project. 5. Digital footprint without activity. Despite being inactive due to military service, Taehyung trended more consistently than active celebrities. This proved that his impact was not attached to promotional machinery, it was attached to global sentiment. Thus, the award served as a recognition that Taehyung was not just part of the cultural wave, he was the wave. A worldwide celebration unfolded. When the host announced Taehyung as the winner, the world erupted. Online platforms recorded one of the fastest rising global trends of the year. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, every major platform pulsated with excitement. Fans wrote, "He didn't even promote. His existence alone is a trend. Taehyung is not chasing the world is chasing him. Trend of the year? He's been trend of the decade. From Seoul to Jakarta, Dubai to Toronto, Sao Paulo to Paris, the world celebrated simultaneously. Fan projects began appearing within hours. Billboards, cafe events, charity drives, and digital art exhibitions dedicated to the milestone. Media outlets worldwide joined in the excitement. Newspapers described him as a cultural phenomenon whose current absence only highlights his impact. Even other idols, actors, and producers shared congratulatory posts, acknowledging just how significant Taehyung's presence was in shaping 2025's cultural direction. The legacy of Layover and its continuing dominance. More than a year after release, Layover continued to define the global conversation. The album cemented Taehyung as an artist whose creative vision surpassed typical boundaries. Each track carried a mood, a breath-like gentleness that felt timeless. Love Me Again continued to trend on short-form platforms. Blue remained a fan favorite for emotional edits. Slow Dancing held the longest-lasting viral presence, inspiring choreography, animations, digital paintings, and reinterpretations across fan communities and professional art circles. Music producers who worked on the album explained that Taehyung had been deeply involved in shaping the soundscape. He knows what Taehyung sounds like. He knows what Taehyung feels like. That clarity is what kept Layover alive even long after its initial release.
Influence on fashion, the Taehyung effect. Taehyung's influence on fashion was perhaps even more explosive than his musical legacy. The Taehyung effect became a recognized term in the fashion world, used to describe sudden spikes in demand for items he wore, styles he introduced, or silhouettes he popularized. His fashion impact in 2025, vintage knitted cardigans surged in sales globally. Retro glasses and muted tone clothing re-entered mainstream demand. His airport photos became style mood boards. His Louis Vuitton and Celine eras resurfaced in fashion editorials. Even his simple white shirts and denim combinations became universally admired. Brands saw lasting effects, reporting increased global engagement whenever Taehyung-associated collections resurfaced on social media. Fashion magazines described him as a living editorial. His aura is fashion. Aesthetic culture and the rise of Taeyoungism. A new term emerged online creative communities, Taeyoungism. It represented a style of expression that blended softness and mystery, emotional depth and simplicity, analog textures, muted visual palettes, and introspective storytelling. Digital artists credited him as the muse for an entire movement of aesthetic content. Taehyung did not just influence fashion or music, he influenced the way people express themselves emotionally. The industry reacts, a cultural compass. Producers, directors, stylists, and cultural critics shared insights into why Taehyung had become the trend of the year. They noted, 1. He rebuilt minimalism into something emotional. A clean, slow, warm artistic voice in a fast-paced digital age. 2. He set a new standard for authenticity. His personality became part of his aesthetic. 3. He revived analog emotions in a digital era. His style reminded people of softness, quietness, human warmth. 4. He blurred the line between idol and artist, not through declarations, but through work. This is why the award resonated so deeply within the industry. Taehyung's global search power. Data analytics firms noted that Taehyung remained one of the most searched Korean artists throughout 2025. This surge did not correlate with new releases. It correlated with cultural rediscovery. People kept returning to his old V-Lives, his interview clips, his cover songs, his painting videos, his behind-the-scenes content, and his social media posts that carried emotional weight. This behavior showed that Taehyung is not a trend. He is a reference point. Taehyung's message and the heart of his influence. Though he could not give a live acceptance speech, KGMA shared a pre-written message from Taehyung. Thank you for remembering me even when I cannot be with you. Your love makes my world warm. I hope my art gives you comfort, joy, and a place to rest. I promise to return with sincerity. The message caused emotional reactions online. Many fans said they cried reading it. Taehyung's greatest power is not his face, voice, or presence, but his warmth. a warmth that connects with millions, a legacy that will outlive the moment. As the KGMA 2025 ceremony concluded, one truth became clear. Taehyung didn't win Trend of the Year because he followed trends. He won because he created them. He influenced the world even while away. He shaped the year without appearing in it. He dominated culture without intention. He built a legacy without noise. Fans, critics, industry professionals, and global audiences witnessed something rare. A star whose power did not depend on activity, but on artistry, authenticity, and impact. Taehyung's win symbolized a promise that when he returns from military service, he will not just re-enter the world, he will redefine it once again. The silent influence, how Taehyung dominated 2025 without promotion. One of the most fascinating aspects of Taehyung's Trend of the Year achievement is the phenomenon of silent influence, the ability to shape global culture without a single public schedule, interview, stage performance, or new release. In an era where visibility is currency and algorithms reward constant noise, Taehyung proved that true artistry is powerful enough to transcend absence. 1. His old work never lost its spark. Clips from Layover stages, especially slow dancing, reappeared multiple times throughout 2025 as viral content, and even global TikTok creators who were not part of ARMY used his music for aesthetic edits and emotional storytelling videos. 2. His visual archive became a living library. Old airport photos, editorial shoots, behind-the-scenes clips, and fan-taken images resurfaced daily across social media. Every frame of Taehyung seemed to hold artistic value, as if his existence had a built-in cinematic quality. 3. Global brands continued referencing him. Even without official endorsements, stylists and visual directors referenced Taehyung's past looks in creative campaigns. He became the template, not the trend follower. This kind of influence is extremely rare, and it is one of the key reasons KGMA acknowledged him with such a substantial award. The emotional aesthetics of Taehyung, why people feel connected to him. For many fans and even casual observers, Taehyung represents comfort, warmth, and sincerity, qualities deeply valued in a stressful and fast-paced world.